Whoa. All right, parents. First off, thank you for coming on. I know it is a inconvenient time, 7:30 on a Sunday, but really, we really do appreciate it. I know Thursday, a lot of y'all were busy with tournaments, school events, all that stuff. So we appreciate the patience. For those that are not aware, I am Travis Bailey, head of baseball for the organization. Along here is Coach Matt Solomon. I know a lot of you all know him. I'm excited to announce that he is officially our high school director, which means he is going to be overseeing the programming, overseeing the schedules. He's been through it. He's obviously a lot younger than me. He's had 17 and 18U teams very recently, as far as this last year goes. So he is an asset that we'll definitely use to help us throughout this journey. So Matt, I don't know if you have anything to add about yourself.
No, I mean, I don't know. My background's a little bit out there. Just worked a lot of programs before, all the way from high school, college, pro athletes before, all the way down from personal programming to class programming. So I'm excited to put it all together with teams and, give everybody an individual chance to develop.
Perfect. So the goal of this meeting is to give you information, obviously, about the summer, and then probably more importantly, if you have questions whatsoever, we'll open up the floor here in a little bit, and then you all can ask away. Just want to make sure everyone's on the same page before we get going. I know it's crazy. It's still February, but it's almost like the summer is right around the corner. So we want everyone to be comfortable, prepared, and ready to go. So I'm going to look down a little bit because I have my notes written out. So I apologize for the bad Zoom etiquette, but we'll roll with that. So again, if you watch the YouTube video, obviously I'm not a YouTube guy, so I apologize for that. But our goal this summer and throughout is to do things different. So we have a strong focus on the 2026 class. That's where most of our boys are. More importantly, we're going to prep them for their junior to incoming senior year when they're going to get the look. So our goal is built around that. Our program is built around that. And so we'll just start it off. So schedule of events. So the way the summer is going to work is we're going to go May, June, July. How it typically works is as soon as high school season is done, which for some may be quicker than others, depending on what team you're on, depending on what program they may bring you up. But as soon as your high school season is done, that's when we are kicking off. So we'll do a bunch of training in May, do training in June. We'll start the showcases in June, and then we'll finish up at the end of July. The tournament weekends, and we'll share your screen in a little bit. It's going to be mid-June, so June 15th through the 18th. July 13th through the 16th, and then that last week in July, the 27th through the 30th. So those will be the 3 weekends. And I say weekends. Your college showcases actually start on Thursdays typically. Some start on Wednesdays, but every team will be playing those 3 weekends. So it'll be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday style event. Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe every event is a 4-game minimum. And like a 3-day minimum. Is that how it's done?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much every event will be 4-game guarantee. And then I think there's only a couple events that are 3 days. The majority of them are 4 days, and there's even a couple that are 5 days long. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of the typical role in high school summer stuff, and even in the fall, everything's a 4-game guarantee, longer game, 2-hour game. So yeah.
So most of your, I say most, the typical summer program is kids are playing all the time. They're playing 6 to 7 weekends, and then they're obviously scattered different weekends if they're not playing. We've built it out where everyone is playing on the same weekends, and that way we can do a true training calendar for all the boys. So I'm going to, let me see if I can share my screen. Are we good? Everyone see? Matt, can you see that?
Yeah, up now.
Okay. All right. So as you can see our calendar, so we'll just go to the top left. So the first week in May, again, most of the teams will be out. So we're going to use those first couple of days to do testing. And the testing with them is going to be a little bit different. Every player is going to have a virtual combine profile that we'll use. And a lot of that is to record testing, but more importantly, a lot of it is to track progress. And when they get older, the coaches can see the progress that that they're doing throughout. So that first week will be testing, and then that next week we're going to introduce all the arm care stuff with them, the routines. We'll also video capture with them hitting and pitching. We'll do video analysis with them that next week on the hitting, on the pitching, kind of build out a plan from there. And then that following week in May, that is their finals week. And this one especially goes out to Miss Carpenter. I got reamed last year for having stuff during finals, and Miss Stuckley as well. So we're going to make everything that week optional. Again, if the boys don't have an important final the next day, they're more than welcome to come up and do workouts. If they have finals that they've got to knock out, then we are going to highly recommend that we don't see them that day. So that's the first part of the summer in May. It's a lot of testing, a lot of videoing. It's building out the plans for them. And then when we get to June, when school's over, then we can really hit it hard. So you see that first week in June, that Wednesday, Thursday, when they come to work out, they'll work out multiple days. The way we're going to do bullpens is we're going to get them on a rotation. So if we're playing a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if they are a Thursday, Friday pitcher, they would be group pin A. If they are a Saturday, Sunday pitcher, then they would be B. And so we can kind of work around that schedule as well, because we know when they're pitching. And again, everyone's playing on that same weekend. So the following is going to be Rapsodo games. We've done that before, where we'll take them out. We will play games. We'll track everything. And then later on that week, we'll do some light stuff with the arm, hitting, fielding, all that. Okay. In the middle of June is when, again, we'll start the college showcase. We'll go light arm because, again, they are playing. And then, like I said, everyone is playing that 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. The locations are going to vary throughout the summer. We're playing at McNeese, which I'm really excited about. Go Pokes. There's Bryce. There's HCU. There's DBU, TCU, Texas A&M. A bunch of different sites that are going to be really exciting for these boys to participate at. The following week is, again, we'll do some hitting, fielding, and we'll pin it out with them. Same thing for the end of June. And when we say hit, field, and then pins, that's also going to include velo, building up the arm, building up the strength for throwing, for hitting, all that stuff. Into July, same thing. They'll be practicing multiple days. And then mid-July, you'll have the college showcase number 2, where they're going off again. We'll finish off with our testing, and then we'll end it with a final college showcase in July. So Matt, I don't know if you have anything to add.
Yeah, I was just going to go back to the kind of the beginning where it says teaching tech. My experience, I mean, it seems like a really simple day, but my experience, if we can get all of our athletes, on the same page of how to set up the tripods, make sure their cameras are set up on their phones properly. They know how to put on a K-vest, they know how to set up a Rapsodo. That just makes every day that you see on that entire calendar move that much more smoothly, that much more quickly. And I think it's an important time, an important day too, to teach them about their virtual combine account. I know we'll have their account set up, they'll have access to it, but they can also update it themselves. Now, they won't be verified results on the virtual combine side if they update it versus if it's updated by one of us. But it's still something that, they can learn how to access it, how to use it, all the different quirks that it has with it that are really, really cool. I mean, it's got everything from uploading video to a direct link to all colleges almost across the entire nation. Meaning it's got the link to click on the college that they might be interested, and it gives them all the contact info right then and there, so they can really start, following along and looking at these things. So teaching them that entire database of info that's at their fingertips there. I want to kind of hit that. So I'm really excited to get that, rolling and going for these guys specifically.
And also the use of social media in a positive way. We'll talk about that. A lot of these coaches are using that. There was a study done, and I think it's like 27% of colleges are getting kids from social media, because it's an easier avenue. If I'm a college coach, if I go watch someone play, I could show up and they could, get hit the first at bat and then see 5 pitches and maybe get 1 swing off and draw a walk. And I just wasted my time, where I can look online, I can see what they've done video wise through social media, through the virtual combine. So again, that we're going to definitely utilize that platform as well. Talking to them about the grades. It is never too early to make sure those GPAs are where they need to be. Every college, the first thing they do is they look at what other scholarships they can give these kids, not necessarily on the baseball field, but academically. And so if our GPAs aren't where they need to be, we're not as attractive as someone else may be. So again, the teaching tech, to really deep dive into all of that. For coaches, all right, so that's a big thing. Our goal is to give you all the best set of coaches that we have, the ones that have played at the highest level, the ones that have been through this, the ones that are ready to go for these kids. And so myself, obviously the oldest, not the youngest, but I'll be coaching Coach Matt, Coach Kyle Servants. I know a lot of y'all know him, played at U of H, drafted by the Angels. Coach Anthony DeJesus, same thing, played at U of H, played at Arizona. Coach Mo played at U of H, drafted by the Reds. And then Kyle Brewer as well, played at HBU, drafted by the Astros. So we feel like we've done a really good job of assembling coaches that can dive deep into this with these kids, and that is our goal for that. So Matt, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
No, I mean, the tricky part with the summer, right, is getting coaches that can commit the time, the Thursdays, the Wednesdays, the Tuesdays, of that travel time, and be able to do that. And these guys, one, they're available, and two, they fit every standard, that we expect them to follow. So I'm excited what they all bring. They all bring a unique, unique tool to the coaching staff, all from pitching to catching to hitting based background. So I'm excited for it.
That'll be good. All right. So the program benefits. So basically, like, why are we doing this? What is the purpose behind it versus your typical travel ball program? So our goal is to get these kids to the next level. Hopefully your goal, more importantly, the player's goal is not just high school now, it's, varsity level, it's the college level. And so how do we get there? Matt and I talked a while about it. And is it more beneficial to play games? Is it more beneficial to train? Is it a combination of both? And we feel like we've got the best program out there for these kids. So we've got to get their tools better. We've got to get them bigger, faster, stronger. We have to get them more polished on the mound. We've got to get them more comfortable at the plate. Again, if you're not smashing balls to the wall by the time you're a junior, senior, you're not going to get the looks. If you're not throwing the ball hard enough from the right side, as a junior, senior, you're not going to get the looks. And unfortunately, the game has changed. If I was playing today, I probably wouldn't have got to college. I was, 80, 82, but I could pitch. So I got to college, where now they're looking at lighting up the radars. How fast can we move? What tools do we have? And so our thought is we've got to get their tools better, and then we've got to get them the experience. So later on, when the showcases actually do matter, they're not nervous, they're ready to go. So with the transfer portal these days, there are not a lot of colleges looking for freshman to sophomore players. So for those that are unaware, the transfer portal is any kid, any player in college can choose to enter the portal And then any college can basically look at them as a free agent. So you look at someone like A&M, they had 4 or 5 guys last year that were from UTSA, Cal, Oregon, all over the map. They pulled from the transfer portal, and that's how they're able to go from a decent year to now the College World Series. So what these colleges are doing is they're looking at the transfer portal first. And why wouldn't they, right? They have, 20, 21-year-olds available. They're going to see what's out there before looking at a 15, 16-year-old kid. So the experience that they're going to gain, our boys, the experience that they're going to gain this year is going to be more beneficial than the actual look. So again, that's why we're doing the 3 showcases. We want to get them comfortable, and realistically, they're not going to get looks unless someone is hitting bombs, 2 or 3 bombs on a weekend in front of colleges. But if you're hitting singles, doubles, that's great. We love that, but that's not going to get you to college right now. If you're striking guys out at 75 to 80, that's great, but that's not going to get you to college right now. And we know that. So the program that we're going to do is we're going to build up their tools, build up their measurables, but also give them that experience. So when they are juniors to seniors, when we are having to hit that circuit really hard of, the 6 to 7 showcases, their bodies are ready, their tools are ready, but then they also have that experience. So that's our thoughts on the program. Matt, I don't know if you want to jump in, if I missed anything on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about time to train for me. The 3 versus the 6, which you might see at another place, it's all about the time. I know, whenever I was training multiple pitchers throughout the summer, it was just time, and it felt like we were always fighting summer baseball, and we were always fighting overload for these guys. And it's just like, give us the time to train and develop, and we can actually make these jumps.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what's beneficial to them right now versus later on down the road. So again, talked about the us versus them. And if you look around, you're going to get, teams that are going to Georgia right now and spending $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in the summer playing 7 weekends in a row. And that's just not going to be us. I don't feel like it's beneficial for the players. Definitely know it's not beneficial for the parents if you're having to take off that much. Again, we want to train them, get them ready to go, still give them that experience. So payment and commitment. So what we're looking at for the summer, it's $1,750, and that's going to cover everything. That the reason why we're asking for that early, and Matt kind of has experience with this, is these college showcases are obviously a lot more expensive, but they fill up a lot more quickly. And so it's first come, first serve. They have a limit of, hey, we're accepting 8 teams, 10 teams, 12 teams. It's not like a perfect game style where they'll open it up to anyone and everyone because they just don't have the field space. If you're playing at their facility, they want to keep you there. So they have a limited amount of players. So again, the $1,750 will cover the 3 months. That's also going to cover any sort of cage usage leading up until the summer. So the end of February, March, April, if you want to come use the facility. I saw BJ and Anson today. I told them go hit. So, I mean, that's what we want to do. I've seen a lot of the Katy boys is we want these boys using the facility as much as possible. So with that, I feel like I've answered everything, but I'm sure I'm missing a lot of stuff. So we're going to open up the floor. If you have a question, first thing you got to do is unmute yourself. And then we would be happy to answer anything and everything you have. So. Okay, so Miss Jones just asked on the chat, what does practice times look like? So we're going to offer a variety of times, preferably during the day. I know a lot of y'all work and we respect that, but we're going to offer multiple times. As far as the length goes, we're going to have them there for 2 to 3 hours. Again, we're going to get more than fielding and hitting done. If we're doing a true arm care program, if we're getting their numbers on the Rapsodo hitting wise, if we're breaking down film, this is not a typical 2-hour and then go session. This is going to be a 3 to 4 hour possibly workout. again, we want the boys to be excited to be there. It's going to be a different style environment. We're going to blast the music, especially during the day. And then we'll also have some stuff at night. So Ms. Jones, to answer your question, it's a wide range. It's basically when you're available to get there.
Hey, Travis.
Yes.
Ryan Nemec. Hey,
What's up, brother?
would y'all be willing to do maybe a workout program outside of Edge and not maybe y'all running it, but maybe a written program for these athletes as far as if they follow this, nutrition, things of that nature, that parents might be interested in?
Yeah. So Ryan, that's a great question. I'm glad to have the guy next to me, at least on the Zoom, he's next to me. He doesn't talk about it, but he mastered in that. Coach Matt mastered in, I don't know what he mastered. It's HBU, so I don't know what he mastered.
Kinesiology.
Yeah,
I'll
something else, but yeah, that's
those topics there. I mean, the nutrition, the weight, the working out, those are all right up my alley. Those are things we're going to be talking about consistently throughout the entire summer. To me, it's one of those things you have to first get in the routine and then, talk about it more, learn about it more, and then, take it and run with it after that. When we get into detailed calorie tracking, macros, and everything like that, I mean, that's a little bit further. And, absolutely, I think every kid is in different situations, right? I mean, if we're severely underweight, it's a pretty easy answer to, hey, let's eat, let's eat a lot. If we're a little bit on the heavier side, okay, there's certain tricks and tips we can achieve there as well. And now if we're trying to get down 3-4% body fat, well, that's a different, that's a different question too. Being baseball players, we can definitely go over different things and talk about different things, but overall it's pretty generic. But if somebody wants to get into it, absolutely, I'm open to it. I'll dive in with them.
I mean, the more information we can share with these boys, the better, Ryan. And I don't know if y'all have seen the picture of Jeremy Pena at spring training with his arm. He literally looks like a thoroughbred horse. It's crazy. And so we've got to build up the strength, the speed. This is the way the game is going. And so, again, it's just another aspect that Coach Matt brings with the working out, with the nutrition part of it. But again, the boys have got to buy into that process as well, especially our skinnier boys that weigh 100 pounds soaking wet. Got to put some mass on them and get them ready to go. So, especially if they're doing football, I know football, they get drained in spring, summer workouts, all that stuff, the SAC camp where, I mean, they're losing weight left and right. So it's making sure that they're preparing their bodies for sure.
I mean, to fully answer, is it going to be, a separate program? I would actually say it's mostly, included. That's in the testing week at the beginning of May. That's going to be things we're going to be pulling them aside, talking about it, almost like a classroom setting and, going over those topics. I mean, that's the very first thing we got to talk about so they can set up for the summer.
More interested as far as, will y'all have plans on their off days? Is really
yes.
What you need to be doing.
Yes. Yeah. They'll have, like, our calendar is set up. We're going to have other stuff as well to add. That was just an overview of kind of the basic calendar. We're going to have a player calendar type thing where they can follow along. There's going to be one if you're in SAC camp. There's going to be one if you're not in SAC camp. This is what you need to be doing on your off Mondays. This is what you need to be doing on your off Thursdays when you're not training with us, stuff like that. So yes, they will have that for them. Now, if they follow it, great. If not, then that's where, we, and more importantly, the parents, y'all can hold them accountable as well. So definitely going to do that. We had a question about the price. So when is the amount due? Matt, I don't know if you have the certain dates. We're not asking for $1,750 up front right now. Again, I think it's going to be almost like a payment plan like we've done in the fall type thing. We just want y'all to know that it's not the same in the fall where it's, hey, starting in May, June, July, You'll pay then. We have to have the money in a little bit earlier so we can get to these tournaments, stuff like that. So I believe we have it scheduled where the first payment is sometime in March, and then April, and then May. But we will send out all those details in an email with the commitment form, all that stuff. So that answers that, I believe. We had a question from Sarah about access to weights for the training, access for weights for training at the facility. So again, our goal is to get a weight room. We are working on that. There's a couple of different options. We've talked about adding a building. We've talked about just putting it in the front. Again, we can't preach the bigger, faster, stronger without getting these boys something. So we are working on that as we speak. There's going to be some free weights. There's going to be some squat racks. As far as location goes, we are not quite sure on that. But when we do get that stuff, they are going to have 100% access to that. Again, we want them to be on a plan, be on a program. We want them living at the facility, getting as much work in as possible. We do have a couple kids that do that, and kudos to them. They're out there all the time. I don't know if it's necessarily productive all the time, but again, I will take them being up at the facility, being around baseball. Like I said, I saw two boys today, BJ and Anson. They could have helped out with the 7U practice, but they ran from that with Parker's team. They wanted no part of that. But again, the more they're at the facility, they're better. So we are all for that.
Hey, Travis, this is James. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're good.
Yeah, so I have a couple questions. Number one is, are the teams that we kind of left going into high school, are they going to be reformed this coming summer season? And the second one, what is the ultimate goal for the summer? Is it just to expose them, or are you guys actually trying to get people scholarships?
No. So the first question is the rosters. We have an idea of where we're at, but we also would be silly to finalize rosters right now in late February. We don't know. Injuries play out. Again, there's a bunch of kids working hard at their craft. So we kind of have an idea, but nothing is set in stone because that's not fair to the boys, obviously, for that. But again, the training and stuff, they're all going to be together. They're all going to be working out. There may be some movement as far as, hey, if some team is playing in a local tournament and we have a family obligation where they can't travel and there's a team playing at Rice, then we can move them to Rice for the weekend while the other team goes to DBU or TCU type thing. So as far as the team goes, we have an idea, but nothing is set in stone. As far as the goal for this summer, if someone gets a scholarship, that's incredible. Are we booking on that? Are we planning on that? Absolutely not. Our goal is to do two things for them. One is to get their tools up. So I'll use Ryan as an example. He throws the ball 78 to 82, which is awesome. So my goal for him would be, let's get him to 82, 85. Let's be more consistent with the exit velocity. Let's get his measurements up. Let's get his strength up. Let's get his speed up. And then let's get him the experience out on the college field where he's in front of colleges. So that way in a year or two, he's not nervous when he's out on the field. So that's kind of the goal for our summer program. Not necessarily searching for the scholarship offers.
Yep, appreciate it. Thanks.
Will all the teams be practicing at the same time?
We'll have them split a little bit. The coaches will be, if we had all the teams, and let's just say there's 5 teams, we're carrying 12 with a 4-game minimum in 4 days. We're looking at carrying 12 per roster. That's 60 kids. We don't necessarily want 60 kids then and there, but again, the way we're going to run it is they may all be there. We may have 20 inside doing an arm program. We may have 20 outside doing defense, and we may have 20 in 4 to 5 cages doing video, doing hitting. So it's going to be a lot of flow to this time as far as parents go. we'll offer stuff during the day. And so if parents can get there during the day, that's great. But if they can't, then we'll be working out at night. But the programming is going to be the same. It doesn't matter what team. The goals are going to be the same. Get these boys bigger, faster, stronger, gives them comfortable with their body movements, and then get them ready to go. Yeah, and I know, George, that the Stratford boys may have some conflicts as far as carpooling and stuff goes. That's not going to be a problem at all. So if there's a situation where we need to keep some boys together, again, the programming doesn't change. So that's why we've got all these teams lined up on the same weekends, so we can map everything out for them specifically together.
Hey Travis, this is James again. I just want to give you guys a shout out. Like, my son started with this organization probably when he was 12 or 13. I've kind of lost track a little bit. He's been with them for a while when they were kind of getting going. For the parents that aren't aware, like, this is a huge deal, right? Like, these guys have a lot of opportunity. The coaching staff has been increased and upgraded. Hopefully people can see that. You guys are bringing a lot to the table. The kids need to kind of come to the table themselves, right, and be ready to play. But definitely appreciate what you guys are doing, bringing these kids up and elevating their game and everything. So it's really good. I appreciate it.
I appreciate the kind words again. I feel like we have a great group of kids. Parents are very supportive, and that's what it takes. Ultimately, we're going to try and do whatever we can to get these boys to college. Like, that is our goal. It would mean the world for me to be able to take off on a day and go take pictures with these kids as they're signing their letter of intent. Doesn't matter if it's Rice or McNeese State, which would be incredible. But I mean, wherever they go, it doesn't matter. We will always do whatever we can for these boys. So James, again, I appreciate that. The boys have got to buy in, kind of to Ryan's point earlier of, we can get them the program, we can get them a nutrition plan. But if they're serious about getting to the next level, and I truly mean this, if they want to play college baseball, we will find a spot for them. It may be in Michigan, it may be in Iowa, but if they put in the time and the effort and they truly want to play, there will be a spot for them somewhere in the nation. Again, it's just they've got to put in that work. So anybody else with a question?
Hey Travis, this is Byron. Quick question.
Yes, sir.
On the 3 weekends, how do you determine where they'll be?
So we've got them all over the map. What we've tried to do is we've tried to keep almost 3 different styles: a college showcase style where it doesn't really matter location. We've also tried to keep one semi-local where it's, maybe it's an hour and a half, 2-hour drive to a college. And then we have one that is a little bit farther, the 4 to 5 hours. So an example is you may have a team that's doing something at U of H, and then they would go to Texas A&M, which is, an hour away, where you could stay overnight, but you don't necessarily have to. And then the next week, or the next showcase, not the next week, and the next showcase, they may be in Dallas. And so, we want them to get that experience of an overnight trip where they're staying at a hotel and they're preparing their bodies on the road, and we're doing morning stretching routines before a 10 a.m. game in the hotel parking lot. So stuff like that. So we want to give them a wide variety of these showcase styles. So you're going to have a overnight one, you're going to have one that is a semi-overnight, it's up to the parents, and then you're going to have one, a local one as well, that's still doing the same sort of things.
Okay, thanks.
Question. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I have a question on for the Thursdays. Is this an all day thing, like it starts on Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon? Just trying to figure out work schedule wise, what that looks like for us parents.
Yes. So again, we'll offer stuff during the day. And so and we're gonna talk to them. I know like when I was working out Matt when he was younger, he would bring like a lunch. And he would eat there and then continue to train. We're gonna recommend that to the boys. But again, if Ms. Jones, if you're working and you can't get Landon up there, then we will have stuff at night for Landon to do, same sort of programming as well. So there's
I'm referring to the Thursday for the showcase weekends.
oh, the showcase.
Sorry.
I apologize for that. So yes, ma'am. So like the showcases, if let's say they're in Dallas on Thursdays, then yes. So parents would have to either let their kids go up with someone else, let them go up with the coach, or the parents would have to take the Thursday night and then the Friday off. And so again, what's crazy is you have tournaments that are going on, 6-7 times in the summer. And that's what we're referring to as the convenience for the parents as well, is we're not asking parents to take off 6 or 7 Fridays in a summer. We're asking them to take off maybe 1 to 2. But yes, if a tournament starts on a Thursday, there's some that start on a Wednesday, then yes, they would need to either stay with someone, stay with the coach, or the families would obviously have to take off work. So.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Anybody else? Matt, you got anything to add to that?
My only question would be.
James is coming in again. James is coming in.
Okay.
Oh, he's out. Oh, he's in.
Sorry, not me. I must be hitting something wrong.
My only question would be, can we continue to use Zoom for meetings, please?
The Zoom, yeah. Yeah, nice rocking chair. Although I'm in my baby's nursery with the K, because that's the quietest place in the house, the nursery that's unused right now. So, but again, we want to open up. We're going to do some Zoom meetings with the boys as well. They need to start taking initiative as far as what they want to do when they grow up type thing. If they want to do baseball, they've got to completely buy in. They've got to understand what's going on. And it's a full steam ahead type approach. So, but yes, we'll do more Zooms.
I'll reiterate on the payment side. I know it's different, paying ahead starting in March, it's critical for us to get it in, to get these tournaments signed up, registered, paid for. Like Travis was hitting earlier, there's only so many locations, there's only so many spots open in these locations that we want to go to, and these tournaments that we want to be in. So that's why it's all pushed early, and not kind of as we're doing it, is to get these tournaments paid for and get us secure our spots in these tournaments over anything else. But that's really all I wanted to hit.
And parents, if you have any other questions, obviously, please don't hesitate to reach out. If I don't answer, keep calling, keep texting, until I do answer. But again, we appreciate your or text Matt. Yeah, he'll answer quicker than me. Call. But again, we appreciate the time. We always appreciate the support. Again, I apologize for the struggle on the YouTube video. I'm not a YouTuber. Trying to get more comfortable with that, but excited about the summer. It's a little bit different, and that's what we want. So if there are no more questions, I'll leave it open for a little bit. Willie will post this on YouTube, I guess, Matt, is that right? And then so you can view this again. We'll share it with everyone. But if not, again, thank you so much for the time. the effort on a Sunday night. We appreciate it. And I guess meeting semi-adjourned, so. They're not leaving. Oh, they're leaving. There we go.
Hey Travis, this is Stephanie.
Hey, how are you?
Can I reach out to you separate
How's the knee?
about
Yes.
Mason?
Yes, how's the knee doing?
We go Tuesday.
Okay.
Fingers crossed that they will release him.
Where,
That is 9 days before 6 months. So we're not sure if they will, but I'm hoping
are
they
we,
will.
are we retiring from football?
We are not.
Oh.
Are you retiring from football? I don't have the video on.
Bro, what? Oh, someone's been working out though. Whoa.
I mean, he's done his due diligence. He's
Holy
really has,
smokes.
yeah, he really has been doing. Anyways, he's really been doing well. He graduated from PT about a month ago.
Nice.
So we're just now waiting for the doctor to say, we're praying Tuesday that he says 9 days is not going to make a difference. So
Can he teach me how to get some abs? I'm like, I'm struggling. Jeez. Put a shirt on. You're
All I could
embarrassing
do
me.
for like 6 months was push-ups and sit-ups and all ab workouts.
And I've been doing 6 to 7 Oreos a night. So we're a little different, but
and they want him to gain 30 pounds. So
no, Stephanie, definitely reach
Okay.
out to me separately.
okay,
Just keep us updated. So
I will. That sounds good.
have
Thank
a
you.
night. See you, Mace.
Bye.
Kid's jacked. Jeez.
Yeah, pretty shredded. 30 pounds. Let's see the legs.
Yeah. And I got your message. Thank you so much. It was great seeing him today. Like I said, if he wants to be an assistant coach as well for the 7U Bobcats team, I'd love to have Anson out there.
He just looked up from his food and laughed.
Well, we went to go. So Parker tried to catch today, and she liked it.
Nice.
So we went to Academy, and youth catcher's gear was $200. So I was like, all right, let's see if you like to catch. We'll give it a couple weeks. I'm not ready to commit $200.
Hey, I just gave away that other youth catcher's gear too.
Yeah,
Make sure you peg her a couple of times first.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're saving money on a cup, which is nice. But
That's okay. We never had one.
yeah, $200 for coach pitch catcher's gear. No, thank you.
Well, thanks. We appreciate it.
Y'all go beat Tompkins tomorrow, please.
That's what we're doing.
All right. Good luck.
Bye.
See y'all. Good.
And there were two.
Rhonda. We're done. Parents, again, thank you for, if you've stayed on YouTube this long to watch this, I apologize. We have she's gone. No, we appreciate the time, the effort. We are looking forward to it. Ready for the summer for sure. These boys have grown so much already. We're excited for this next chapter. So, Maddie, I don't know if you have anything to add.
I'm excited. That's it.
All right, we will see y'all soon.